Hello, my friends, and welcome to the latest spin. I'm Mike Spinner, student athlete world USA, coming at you. It's another Thursday night, but here's the difference. In Connecticut, winter just maybe is coming to an end. It's pouring rain outside. It's probably like 40 degrees, so it's got a little chill to it, but um, the snow's melting. All right. Turf fields are appearing to be green. It feels like spring, maybe just maybe, is getting sprung. It's really exciting, and I'm a winter guy. All right. I like the weather colder. I don't mind dressing like warmly, like this Under Armour with a hoodie, and I don't mind it. But this winter was Mother Nature's way of kind of saying, I'm still in charge here. So we get it. As I say to my own team that I coach all the time, the two greatest competitors in the history of the world are Mother Nature and Father Time. And we learned this year that Mother Nature, pretty tough woman. I was going to use another word, but we're PG around here. But it's so, here in the Northeast, maybe we're at the beginning of the end here, and we could actually get outside and do something at some point soon. Tonight it's raining. It's going to rain all day tomorrow, but at least I don't feel like I need to throw on a winter coat just to check the mail. So we're making progress here in Northeast. We're doing well, and I hope you're doing well. So, this is not the type of thing where I'm just going to every week talk about how few roster spots we have left. We have fewer roster spots available now than we did a week ago. And that's going to continue for probably another 4 to 5 weeks, and then we're going to be done. And that's just kind of how the year is rolling out. But Tim posted some great social media images today about what we have left and where. For sports like lacrosse, I am a lacrosse coach. My high school team, we start practice in a couple weeks. We're still in the hunt for both our men's and women's lacrosse teams. If you want more information, hey, it's Mike at studentathleteworld.com. We could talk some lacrosse. Hockey wise, we have a couple of skater positions open. I will be personally at the St. Patrick's Day tournament in Pennsylvania next weekend. That's always a really big one. If you're a hockey player and you're interested in that tour, find me. I'll be wearing Student Athlete World gear the whole weekend, or send me an email, Mike at studentathleteworld.com. We'll meet up, we'll talk, and maybe you want to go with us to United World Games. We have a really good group coming together. We can just use a couple more skaters. Basketball-wise, our numbers are certainly getting there. Our tours are looking great. It's going to be a great summer. I'm still waiting to figure out where I'm going, but wherever I am going, I can't wait to get there. So, here's the biggest thing that's happened, and I try to never wax political in this show. I've learned, and I've said it before, I've learned that, one of the keys to happiness these days, honestly, is to almost forget that the political climate that we live in exists. To me, and I was a political science major in college. Fun fact about me, there was a time I was very much like a political hound. And I've learned over the last, 15 years or so to maybe 20 years, when we talk about politics, in my opinion, we're just talking about a bunch of people trying to sell us a bridge, and I think we've reached that point in Washington, D.C., and I'll just say it. Does it really matter what side of the aisle you're on? Like, is anyone out there looking for us, individually, our families, small businesses? Is there some champion for us right now? And my response is going to be no. It's not a right or left thing, not a center thing. It's just a fact that, in my opinion, there are many people using the political climate we live in to enrich themselves. And that's who they are. So I do not have a political opinion right now. Why do I say this? So we are in a military conflict with a country in the Middle East right now. You cannot turn on TV and not hear this. It should be news to nobody. And so I've had interviews all week, and we've talked about safety and security and all these things. And I get it. Because right now, if you turn on the news, and I probably said something like this before during the show, but I'm going to say it again now because it's particularly relevant. If you were to only watch the news right now, whether you're on, well, let's use the camera to the right, my right, or on the left, or in the middle, if you turn on TV, I don't think you could find me a news network anywhere that would give you any comfort into leaving your own home, okay, and going anywhere in public. And that to me is like such an unfortunate reality of the landscape that we live in. Like news right now is it's not news, is what is going to scare us the most in this world. And it's not what we see in the real world. I'm sorry, it's just not. Because of this position, I have friends now who live all over the world. Do anyone who live in other countries really think that it is unsafe to travel outside the United States? And the answer is no. I can't name one person. Okay. And these are people who live there, who see Americans, or who welcome Americans, not just people who work with us, but friends of mine. And I can honestly say, I don't know which tour I'm doing this summer, but I am 100% comfortable going on it to any one of our locations. Okay. Now, if we're had a tour in Iran right now, I probably wouldn't want to be there. But otherwise, I feel extremely secure, not only going on any one of our tours or all of our tours, but bringing my family with me. Okay. And I understand that the world landscape right now is challenging. Okay. There is a military conflict involving our country. There are people out there who do not believe we should be doing this. There are people out there who stand firmly behind this military action. And then there's someone like me who all I care about is that our troops are safe and no one gets hurt. And truthfully, that's kind of where it ends for me. But this whole idea that the residents of any country that we visit not welcoming us, to me, is a fairy tale. I'm sorry. It just is. All right. So if you're out there and your mindset is, I really want to travel with Student Athlete World, I'm just concerned about leaving the country because there's a military conflict here. And when I turn on the news, I'm seeing this. Do yourself a favor, don't leave your house, because the argument can be made that that's dangerous too. And I've said it, I've said it before, like, right now you are more likely to face hostility from a neighbor than you are from someone you're going to come across on one of our tours. That's just how it is. That's the real world. So my advice to you, if you're concerned about your safety on any one of our tours, okay, do some research into how the real world is behaving right now. Because even places that don't agree with what America is doing, they don't hold it against Americans. So don't deprive yourself of this type of opportunity because you might have a little bit of fear. And don't let any news network, no matter what side they represent, scare you into thinking that traveling is dangerous. Okay? Because if you're going to believe that, you're not going to want to leave the house. And you know what? If you're a news network, they don't want you to live in the house. They want you to sit in front of the TV watching them, don't they? Something to think about. But for me, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to go on a tour this summer, maybe 2, maybe 3. I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. I'm going to see more of the world, and I can't wait. And you shouldn't want to wait either. Don't wait. You will regret it. And now for What in the World. And What in the World this week is brought to you by McDonald's. Now, I had McDonald's as a very positive What in the World sponsor not long ago because their hot honey products are pretty darn good. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit. All right. So McDonald's has released a burger called the McArch. I think that's all it's called. I think the McArch. Now, when I was a kid, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think there was an Arch Deluxe that, if I'm not mistaken, was like a lower fat version of like a quarter pounder. Wasn't that with the one where one side had the hot burger and the styrofoam and one side had all the cold products like the lettuce and the tomatoes and the onions? And it was like the hot side is hot, the cold side is cold. So the burger tasted fresher. And then they used all the styrofoam and people went nuts and they stopped. I think That was like the Mick Arch Deluxe. Now they have an Arch, which if you're an 80s child like me, just gets very confusing. But it's not that they came out with a different burger that makes me wonder what in the world. It's that they're just so weird about it. All right. So this Arch Burger, which I did try today, because I'm who am I to you if I'm not gonna do it myself, right? So this Arch Burger comes out, and the McDonald's CEO Chris Kibitsky or something like that recorded the most awkward promo video you could ever see. Like, I would be better, I would be less awkward doing this show naked than this man who's the CEO of McDonald's, who makes a lot more money than I do, doing this promo video for their Arch Burger. If you haven't seen the promo video, you can't miss it. I mean, you don't get more awkward than this. And here's the viral video that I'll compare it to. If you ever want to laugh at other people, which I love to do, Google the celebration that Bill Gates and his team had when they rolled out Windows 95. And just know the music was Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones. And it was all these like tech nerds, no offense to tech nerds, dancing to Start Me Up on a stage. It's probably about a minute to 2 minutes long when they unrolled Windows 95. In my opinion, the most painfully awkward looking video I've ever seen in my life. Second place, McDonald's CEO, Chris Klobitsky, whatever his name is, and the Arch Burger. All right. So he basically, now here's a guy who is paper thin. I'm thinking regularly eating foods like kale and spinach and Brussels sprouts. Like, here's a guy who's trying to live forever. All right. So CEO of a company that he clearly does not get as deeply invested in their product the way that like our leader at Student Athlete, like Tim, gets invested in our product. Like, Tim goes on tours. This guy does not eat McDonald's. All right. There's no way looking at him. Like, as much as I've lost 120 pounds, go me. All right. Raise that roof. I look like a guy who would eat McDonald's. And truthfully, I don't eat, I feel like I don't eat enough McDonald's because I'm always on this diet now. But this guy is like bone thin, another tech nerd looking guy. Sure, he's great with numbers. Sure, he's really smart. McDonald's makes lots of money. He's the CEO. He's filthy rich. Good for him. And he's trying to like do this like one-man advertisement for this Arch Burger. And it was cringeworthy. Number one, he seemed surprised by his own product. It'd be like me talking about a tour they know that we do. That's exactly how I felt about it. And they didn't show him, like, he almost like dissected what was in the burger. So the bun of the burger has both sesame seeds and poppy seeds on it, which, all right, that's what they want to do. It looks weird to me. And I don't know if sesame and poppy kind of, fit, like, I guess, like an everything bagel type of taste. I don't know. And then, they have crispy onions on it, which I personally find crispy onions to be delightful, a different kind of sauce. So, a quality product is what I'm saying. So my assessment of the Arch Burger is, I used to enjoy the Big Mac when I was much younger. I've now found the texture to be too inconsistent to enjoy a Big Mac. I'm really getting deep into McDonald's, aren't I? I think having the extra bun in the middle of the Big Mac and the sauce is just really strong. It just from a standpoint of texture. I don't love Big Macs anymore. I like this Arch Burger better. Okay. Sauce is really good. The bun has a nice flavor to it. The crispy onions, I could put crispy onions in my cereal and enjoy it. I think crispy onions are a revelation. But like, they only show him taking like this one small bite to it, and he made it seem like it is the greatest thing his lips have ever touched, all right, he's ever eaten in his entire life. So it's just super awkward. It's really funny. I think it's actually going to work. Like, I think McDonald's is going to sell more of this burger because of this cringeworthy CEO. I need to find him on social media. I need to see if he always does these awkward videos, because I'd watch more of it. I need more of this guy. So Chris Klobinski, whatever your name is, McDonald's CEO guy, find me. I want to see more of you. I need more. Okay. I'm a turkey, baste me. Like, I need more of this. But one of the most hilarious McDonald's moments ever. So 5 minutes later, what in the world this week is brought to you by McDonald's, because this Archburger and this cringeworthy video, and you've got to see. Tim, I know you haven't seen it yet. There's no way you've seen this video. You've got to see the video. It's awesome. So what in the world this week? I'm going to make it a more serious one. What in the world goes out to Notre Dame football, but not in a critical way, which I tend to get with sports. Lou Holtz, the legendary Notre Dame football coach, passed away yesterday. And I love college football. And the truth is, I've been anti-Notre Dame for a long time. And for good reason. Like, I just always felt like them not being in a conference and their contract with NBC, even though their schedule isn't always that great. Like, I just never been into Notre Dame football. I've always kind of rooted against them. But Lou Holtz is just, to me, kind of the end of that group of legendary coaches who seem to do this for the right reason. All right. Incredible motivational speaker, great football coach, fantastic representative of the University of Notre Dame, and very successful. But he did a lot of this without making things about him. Who's the best football coach, like modern, like right now of this era? It's got to be Nick Saban, right? I would think. I don't think there's anyone else I could think of. Where I felt like when Lou Holtz was in his heyday, there were coaches such as him, Joe Paterno, pre-scandal, Bobby Bowden, people like that. Yes, big ego, of course, big presence about them. And they made great money, I'm sure. But it just always seemed like this was before transfer portal. This is before NIL, before even BCS. Back when, college football, like the bowl games were really important. If you're younger, you don't remember that because the BCS has kind of overtaken the bowl games. But like New Year's Day, remember New Year's Day college football before BCS? New Year's Day was a holiday for that reason, even though it was a holiday anyway. And I just always felt like Lou Holtz at Notre Dame, excuse me, was such a larger than life figure. But it was always about the program. Like, his brand was the brand. Bobby Bowden's brand, Florida State football. Lou Holtz was Notre Dame football. Joe Paterno was Penn State football. We don't see that anymore. Because today we get like Lane Kiffin, now at LSU. And if somehow some program's going to pour even more money than LSU does into theirs, Lane Kiffin's probably going to end up there. And it's just, you almost feel like something's missing. He did a lot of TV work. He did a lot of motivational speaking, Lou Holtz. But I think back to the coaching legends that I have had the pleasure to observe as a huge college football fan over the years, none of which coached at Wisconsin. Tim, I just had to do it. I'm sorry. I haven't made a Wisconsin quip in months. So sorry, Tim, had to do it. But if you look at like the 80s and 90s when college football was a lot more innocent than it is now, Lou Holtz was among the powerhouse coaches, and he's gone now. So to Lou Holtz, rest in peace. Thank you for making college football as a coach, as a media personality, that much more fun. And rest in peace. And, that's all sorry, that's all I can say about that. And that's it for the latest spin this week. As always, great fun, except for me bringing down the house at the end there. My apologies. It just Lou Holtz's passing got me thinking. But as always, how do we do this? How do we enjoy the coolest thing I'm ever going to do in sports? Go to studentathleteworld.com, complete your application, interview with this guy right here, and pack your bags. We'll see everyone next week. Have a great week, everybody.